Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Nitai Gaurachandra ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanandi.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay. Yeah, Mati.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari.
You want to try it? Yeah.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Nittai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol. Jayam Vishupad Paramahansa Parikracharya Stotha to Shishimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jayam Vishupad Paramahansa Parikracharya Stotha Shishimad Bhaktisiddhanta Swati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Jai. ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Shama Kundu Radha Kundu Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. जगन्नाथ पुरी धाम की जय, गंगा माई की जय, यमुना माई की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय, समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे. Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Shri Guru and Sri Gauranga.
We'll just say the pranam mantras and then we can get started. Namaha Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunivadi Paschatya Desatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. If everyone can come closer, I'm going to be presenting on the screen. It'll be easier for everyone to watch. So if everyone can get closer to the screen.
Can you all come closer, please? Come closer so you can see the screen and hear the instructions.
So about 3 weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago, Mataji told me to give the class, and I felt very disqualified. So I thought maybe somebody can give the class in my place, and that's what we are going to do. Prabhupada disciples are going to give the class in my place. So those who have seen the email that came out, today's class is on Prabhupada's compassion. And so there are two words, Prabhupada and compassion. So how many of you have read the biography or the condensed version of the Lilamrita of Prabhupada, or the extended version of or they are in the process of reading the Lilamrita of Prabhupada? How many of you have read the biography? Show of hands. Okay, only three and a half. Okay, so that means this class is going to be great, since most of us don't know who Prabhupada is. How many of you know when Prabhupada came to US? Show of hands. Only two, three, four. Prabhupada came, which year did he come to US? 1965.
Which month? Which date? Date 17. September 17, 1965.
Yeah. How many of you know which year Prabhupada was born? Yeah. Which year?
We know that. What year?
1896. Haribol. Yes.
Date and what month? Quiz count. September 1st, 1896.
Yeah.
Everybody should learn that. Very, very important.
So that means today's class is going to be very relevant. Now that we know that we don't know much about Prabhupada, so the class is going to be very relevant. So, to give a little context about Prabhupada before we get into the video that I'm going to show. So Prabhupada came to US in 1965, and when he came, like if you have read the biography or if you have heard the stories of Prabhupada, he had 2 heart attacks on the ship that he was coming. And, they were almost fatal. Like he could have passed his life. Like he could have left the planet because of that. And then even after coming to US, he had a 3rd heart attack later on. And when he came, maybe some of you know, he came with only 40 rupees, which is almost nothing when you convert it into dollars. And essentially he didn't even know many people inside US. Like it wasn't like he was gonna meet his family or he was gonna meet his boss and start a job. Like, he was coming completely on the mission of Krishna and having faith on his guru. So, there was barely any capital, there was barely any money, and there was barely any people he knew. And he was already very old when he was coming. Like nowadays, even at the age of like 50, 60, it gets hard for people to move around. And he was past that age. But he had full faith in Krishna. And the amazing thing was, within a short span from 1965 to 1977, so that is 7 plus 5, 12 years, he made 108 temples. So is that short of a miracle? So it kind of, really makes us ask the question, like, how did he do it? Like, what was his secret? Like, a businessman would want to know, like, how did he convert 40 rupees into 108 temples? And if we ask, like, what was his secret, the thing was obviously Krishna's mercy. But when you will hear, so what we're going to do today is we're going to hear Prabhupada disciples, many of his senior disciples, remember fondly of Prabhupada, like what interactions they had with Prabhupada within that span of 12 years or so. And one of the recurring themes that you will see, especially the ones that I have picked up, is like the deep compassion that Prabhupada had for everybody. And we see the picture of Prabhupada, but because we haven't really read the biography, or we haven't really looked so deeply into his life, sometimes we miss out on how much of a deep character he had and how much compassion he had for everyone. Like, because we haven't read it, it's very hard to just describe it in a few words. It takes a lot of words to describe that. And so my attempt today is through these videos that we'll see of Prabhupada disciples recounting specific events, that we get a sneak peek into the amount of compassion we had. And hopefully, after this class, we'll have a greater appreciation for Prabhupada, how much he did. So one thing you'll notice in these videos is, over time, there have been many saints, not just in India, but in the world. Even Jesus Christ was a saint, and even in modern times, we see so many saints. But when you start looking at these videos, you'll start to see like how Prabhupada compares to them, and to some extent you'll also come to see that it's very difficult to find an equivalent to how much greatness this personality was. And ultimately the greatness comes because he was an associate of Krishna, Krishna empowered soul. But when we look at these videos, like, we'll actually see, like, in fact, you'll start feeling proud that, every time when you sit down to chant, or every time you get in the temple, get into any ISKCON temple, you'll be so proud to know that you're belonging to such a great parampara. So that's the hope. Now so today's class is going to be a little different. As you can see already, the format of the structure is a little different. We're listening from Prabhupada disciples. What we're going to do is we're going to see a series of videos. What I encourage everyone, I know we are all physically present here. Maybe some of us are mentally present here, or maybe somebody's mind is in India or Nepal or Bangladesh, but let's try to be mentally present. But more importantly, let's try to be emotionally present. Because some of these memories that we're going to see are very emotional memories. Because they remember very fondly of their guru who lived 20 or 30 years ago. These videos were taken in somewhere in the 1990s to 2000, 2010. So as they remember fondly, let's try to look at the videos through the eyes of the speaker, whoever is giving. In that way, we can kind of capture that mood. We can really live through that period. Otherwise, it'll just be showing videos on a screen and a clock ticking. But it should be something more than that. And then we'll have some time to discuss what is our personal realization after watching these videos. Because it'll be almost useless if after watching so many deep videos we have no realizations. So we will spend some time actually discussing what personally we have realized looking at these videos. So, in total I have a series of 5 videos that I want to show. These are 5 specific events that happened in real. And as I said, these really display Prabhupada's compassion. And so while doing this, not only do we get the respect for Prabhupada, but hopefully we can also imbibe that quality of compassion within us. You know, as followers of Prabhupada, we should try to imbibe the good qualities that he displayed. So with that, we can start. Should we turn off light or this light is good? Okay. Turn off the light? Okay. Okay, halfway. So let's see if the audio works.
Decided, without any doubt, that I remain brahmachari.
The audio is not clear,
Gradually,
right?
the itching will subside.
Yeah.
He said, whatever it may be, hunger also, it will subside. So the best thing is to tolerate. So, so then I understood what Prabhupada wanted, and I decided, without any doubt, that I'll remain brahmachari. After
That's from now.
some months in Boston, and we hardly made any new devotees, one young man came named Peter. And Peter was very eccentric. He used to sit in the hallway at the entrance to the building. And he would like lean his back against the wall. A lot of the times he would have his legs out straight. He would read. Sometimes he would just lie down in the hallway and sleep. So we were getting quite upset because the first thing that any new person would see was Peter, you know, slouched out in the hallway and sometimes completely asleep. So Srila Maharaj wrote Srila Prabhupada what to do. And Srila Prabhupada wrote back, "What's the matter? Can't you tolerate?" So that was the answer. And we tolerated. But we felt uneasy, but we tolerated. After some days, Peter, and he came to be known as Crazy Peter. After some days, Crazy Peter left Boston and went to New Vrindavan. And on my way from Boston to India through New York, I just happened to ask about Crazy Peter, because I just wanted to know. We were a very small family then. So the devotee said he'd gone to New Vrindavan and he was doing very well, and that he was going to be initiated. I was like quite amazed. Anyway, I lost track of Crazy Peter until about 20 years later, when I visited Los Angeles, and I saw Crazy Peter at Mangalarti. So I asked some of the devotees, you know, that was already like 20 years, 1990 or so, and Prabhupada had already left. I was surprised that he was still with us. So I asked some devotee, "Who is that?" The devotee said, "Oh, that's Kushakrata Prabhu." I said, "Kushakrata?" And he was famous because he was translating scriptures from Sanskrit into English and Bengali into English. And I thought, my God, you know, how merciful Srila Prabhupada is, that by his mercy and compassion, Crazy Peter, who we didn't see any potential in much, you know, had come to the stage where he was translating Vaishnava literature into English. So one quality of Srila Prabhupada was that he just intensely desired that everyone should be engaged in Krishna service. act in Krishna consciousness. And, he saw the chance in everyone, and he wanted to give everyone the chance. And he was really ready to extend himself to any extent. Another example, in a completely different.
Okay, so that is from Giriraj Swami. Those who know or those who don't know, Giriraj Swami is a very senior disciple of Prabhupada, and he's an initiating guru. And I'll just add a quick point to this. When it comes to translating or writing purports or explanations to Vaishnava literature, it's not easy. For 1 week I was with Danavir Swami Maharaj, and for a short time I was doing some of his Garga Samhita. I was writing down his purports, and it needs a lot of intelligence to translate Vaishnava literatures. So just to give a context, a person who apparently is crazy to start off with, who has almost no qualification, is rising to the platform of that high level of intelligence that they're able to translate Vaishnava literature. So that gives a little context to that. The next one we'll watch is Indradyumna Swami Maharaj, who is also one very senior disciple of Prabhupada, and he does a lot of preaching in Ukraine, in the Eastern Europe, in Poland, and right now he's based out of Vrindavan. He spends most of his days in Vrindavan, and we'll hear what he has to say about Prabhupada.
Well, again, it was another time that Srila Prabhupada came to Paris.
This is in Paris.
And we were making preparations for Prabhupada's arrival. And we were getting everything ready, and then there was a knock on the door. It was about 3 days before Prabhupada's arrival. There was a knock on the door. Guests would just come and knock, and we'd open the door. There was this, we call them in French, clochard, like bum, dirty, disheveled, probably hadn't bathed in weeks. Hair was all matted by dirt and crust, and eyes intoxicated. Food, he wasn't very old, he was maybe a young man, 18 or 19. And I said, I'll give a little prasad, I won't come in. No, you have to bathe or something, you're too dirty. Food. And then they went away. And then I went out for a japa walk later in the afternoon, and I was walking along the Avenue Foch. And that's a big, our center, Quatre Le Fort Le Sur, was in a very nice area of Paris. So I went on Avenue Foch right into the Champs-Élysées and the Arc de Triomphe like that. Very nice, prestigious boulevard. I'm walking and I hear this noise in the bushes, like that. And I look in the bushes, there was this boy, and he'd made a little place for himself there. I'd heard later from devotees that he'd been there for a few days. He had like some newspapers down there. He was sleeping there, making some noises. And the next day I came by and he kind of popped out of the bushes. Food! I said, come to the temple, we'll give you some prasad. Anyway, other devotees heard about him, and we nicknamed him Pigpen. Charles Schultz had that character, Pigpen, because actually he was like Pigpen, flies. So I forgot about it, then Prabhupada came. And one morning, Prabhupada wanted to take a morning walk on Avenue Foch. So, we were coming down, and suddenly out of the bushes lunged this boy. Devotees had been giving him prasadam, and maybe in those days try to deliver the whole, maybe they were preaching to him, telling him some things, and he lunged out of the bushes at Prabhupada to grab Prabhupada's feet. And I don't know who it was, they said, get that boy! And somebody dragged him and threw him back in the bushes or something. We kept walking. Oh my God, that was Pigpen. Pigpen almost touched Prabhupada's feet. The walk continued. We went a long way. We came back, went around the lake, we came back, and everybody was on the morning walk. Just the pujaris were on the altar, addressing the deities. Prabhupada was going to come back for Govindam prayers. So we came back, and I noticed, because, we closed the door, because I didn't want anyone to come into the temple, the door was open. Somebody had come in while we were away. Left it open, wide open. We came into reception with Prabhupada. We came into the temple room. I was right next to Prabhupada. We walked into the temple room, and there was Pigpen. And he lunged and he grabs Prabhupada's feet. And somebody says, "Get that!" And Prabhupada says, "No." And Prabhupada let him hold his feet. And Prabhupada put his hand on his head. He said, "That's all right, my boy, that's all right. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna." Massaging Pigpen's head. It's all right, it's all right. And you could hear a pin drop. The devotees nobody was moving. They just, whatever position they were in, they're just stunned and they're watching. It's all right. Then Prabhupada said, "All right, Hare Krishna." Then Pigpen fell back. Then Govindam Hare Purusham like this, and then the temple was crowded, and Pigpen was sitting in the middle of the floor. And then Prabhupada sat down, and nobody would dare move him out of the temple room, because we'd seen how Prabhupada was so affectionate towards him. So Prabhupada sat down, he started giving class and everything, and the class was over, and then everybody kind of went, and then somebody said, "Well, Pigpen should leave." And some of the devotees said, no, Prabhupada gave him some mercy. So, "Pigpen, you want to stay?" Take a lot of drugs. So some devotees want to throw him out, so I said, "Okay, take him upstairs and clean him up." They took him upstairs and gave him a shower, and and they put him in a dhoti, everything. I didn't recognize him when he came downstairs, but he still couldn't speak very good. So he just kind of stayed around, and just kind of stayed around that day, and then he spent the night, and we can't have him around, he can't do anything. And Pigpen started doing like cleaning things. So he kind of endeared himself to devotees, like he started cleaning. And whenever we go to him, we say, "Pigpen, how you doing?" "Oh, Prabhupada saved me. Prabhupada saved me." "Okay, Pigpen." "Well, okay, yeah, Prabhupada saved me." So then he kept staying around and started chanting. And then a couple of weeks later, it was time for me to go on traveling Sankirtan in my van. Went out, packed the van, the doors are open, we're packing the van there. And then some more book came out, and Pigpen was sitting in the passenger seat, the front passenger seat. I said, "Pigpen, what are you doing here?" He said, "Go on Sankirtan." I said, "Pigpen, you're doing a good job cleaning the temple, Go on Sankirtan." I said, "Pigpen, why?" He said, "Prabhupada saved me." And I went, "Oh, Pigpen." "All right, I'll give you a chance. You come out and you can clean the van." So he said, "All right." We had to get his things together, to go upstairs and get his little things together and put them in the van. He would just say that. So then we left. Pigpen in the front seat. I was driving, looking over, and look at this guy. And somehow he got in a book bag. He put some books in it. So in those days we were doing the parking lots. We got to the parking lot, and we're getting our book. And the first one out of the van was Pigpen in his dhoti. Thinking, "Oh my God, what's this guy doing? He's going to get us arrested here, And he runs out, and I said, "Somebody go get him." "What are we going to say? What are we going to do, I said, okay, he'll be back in a minute. He'll get scared out there. So, we'd had a big breakfast, we were like packing our bags, and, talking to each other, and then it looks like Pigpen's doing a book over there. Entrance to the shopping market, Hey, Pigpen, look, they're doing a book. And his bag was packed. So, we were late. I don't remember what it was. We were kind of tired or something from the night before. Just as we're getting ready to leave the van, about an hour later, Pigpen comes back, no books in his bag. I said, what happened? I probably dumped him. No. We saw him distributing the book. I said, Pigpen, how'd you do that? What did you tell the people? I tell people that Prabhupada saved me. That was his mantra. But he was transformed from whatever he was before. There's that verse Sanatana Goswami says, it's like bell metal can be changed into gold by a chemical process. So someone who has the training and diksha from a pure Vaishnava devotee of the Lord, he can become Brahmana. He can be more than Brahmana. He can be Vaishnava. The transformation was so quick in the heart of Pigpen, it just created so much faith in all of us in the process of Krishna consciousness and Prabhupada's mercy. Prabhupada transformed that boy, just rubbing his head. It's all right, boy. It's all right, my boy. Hare Krishna, all right. What Prabhupada gave that boy during those 20 seconds, who can understand? He reached it, grabbed his feet, and he was holding on to Prabhupada's feet in the temple room, like this. So then Pigpen became a big book distributor. Speech cleared up, and he started talking nicely, started giving classes, and eventually he took initiation. And his name was Rasada Das. And for many, many years he was with us in France. And then, after some years, the French yatra changed, and I left and he left, and I haven't seen him since that time. But I did receive some news that years later he was distributing books in America, in New York. This was a good, 20 years ago or something. But all glories to Srila Prabhupada's mercy to transform the Jagai and Madhais of the modern day, the modern era. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. That was a very touching story, right? Really, the mercy of Prabhupada is just limitless. Somebody from so difficult, fallen background, we want to say, who's suffering from drug addiction, suffering from homelessness. Jai Jai Nitai Gaurchandra ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Somebody who's suffering from drug addiction, from homelessness, Prabhupada didn't make the distinction. His mercy was there. So that just shows the depth of compassion he has. We'll move on to the third video. So this is from Jayapataka Maharaj. He's my Guru Maharaj. We will hear, so the first memory we heard from Giriraj Swami, and the story was in Boston, in US. The second story we heard was from Indradyumna Swami Maharaj. This was in Paris, the one that we just finished listening. This memory that Jayapataka Maharaj recounts is in Mayapur, in West Bengal, India.
Now you're revealing that you are not actually sincere. So then he called the police and said, okay, now I'm giving him over to you. One day, when we just moved into the Lotus building, the first multi-story temple guest house where Prabhupada's quarters were, when we moved from the grass hut to that building, then there was a very big feast. And we invited many villagers and everyone to come. We gave a big feast. After the feast was over, all the leaf plates were thrown behind the temple. And then Prabhupada went upstairs to his room. And I was sitting in the room with Srila Prabhupada, and then there was dogs barking in the back. So Prabhupada got up and walked over to the veranda and looked over the veranda. And there he saw that there was this big pile. I mean, so many people had taken prasadam, There was a very big pile of banana leaves, which are the organic way that you eat in India, off a leaf. And there were some children who were obviously very poor. They had, torn clothes, and they had sticks in their hand, and they were beating off the dogs to get the remnants of food that people had left on their plates and thrown in the garbage pile. And when Prabhupada saw that, he saw that, and what a scene to see human beings have to fight dogs off to eat, the throwaways, the spittings that people have thrown away. When Prabhupada saw that, literally he started to cry. Tears were coming down. And he just said, just see how hungry they must be. I mean, who would, stoop to that kind of a situation to fight off dogs, to eat, things that other people had thrown away. So he was really moved that these children are so hungry. And he said, we have to organize that nobody within a 10-mile radius of the temple is hungry. Everyone should have food to eat. So that's when he organized this. Initially it started as the ISKCON Food Relief. Later it became Food for Life. And he wanted that there should be a regular program of distributing prasadam on a weekly basis, 2 days a week. And we started all 7 days in the week we were distributing. 5 days for little children and pregnant and nursing mothers, and 7 days was simply for anybody, without any discrimination, whether they're Hindu, Muslim, Christian, or anyone, men, women, young, old. So that, and Prabhupada was so moved when he saw that people were hungry like that. But one time at a disappearance.
So, compassion shouldn't be just limited to a feeling. If there is true compassion, there is action. We take steps. It's not like, if we love someone, we don't just say oh, I love you, and don't do anything about it. We show it in our actions. So we get to see okay, we're saying Prabhupada has compassion, but we can see it manifest. He took steps to reduce that hunger issue in Mayapur. And Food for Life is still going on. I saw the recent count. I think it was 2 billion plates of prasadam. Free prasadam has been distributed in the last 50 years since Food for Life has been started. So just to put things in perspective, and this started in Mayapur, but it spread all over the world. And there are even stories of people giving their lives for distributing prasadam in war-torn areas. This happened in Eastern Europe many years ago. And even now it's happening in Ukraine. So we see the compassion is so deep that it has gone from generations. The first generation of Prabhupada disciple has been able to transmit that compassion to the second generation. And now it's our duty to take it to the third generation. Now we'll hear from Hariswari Prabhu, who was a secretary of Prabhupada. So he spent a lot of personal time with Prabhupada, and he has a lot of memories. And this memory is again in Mayapur, and this is a memory from 1977, so it was close to his departure. And for those of you who know, if anyone has seen the departure video of Prabhupada, which is on YouTube, it's very touching. And one of the things you will see in that video is, even at the last moment, when he's lying on the bed, he's translating Bhagavatam. So that means every moment, every second of his life, he dedicated for the service of mankind. And this memory is just leading up to that disease. So it's on that onset of the disease. So we'll get to hear what Hariswari Prabhu has to say. So he was in Mayapur, and then the last trip to Vrindavan. So the last trip to Vrindavan, before that he was in Mayapur, and we'll get to hear some pastime from 1977.
Prabhupada got his that really bad 77, that was just
And again, also, you know, when we got to Mayapur in 77, that was just before Prabhupada got his real, you know, that really bad sickness which eventually led to his disappearance. We had been down to Bhubaneswar, and then we came up to Calcutta to stay for a month or so. And one man came from Mahesh Pandit's Samadhi, and he was a pujari there, like the Sevite, and he wanted Srila Prabhupada to come and do a program there. We knew it was going to be very small, you know, what we would kind of consider a rinky-dink little affair, you know. We knew it. And but Prabhupada immediately agreed to the man's request. He'd come during the massage and spoke in Bengali. So Prabhupada agreed, and then he went away. But I couldn't speak Bengali, but I knew what was going on. So then I was kind of unhappy because I knew how weak Prabhupada was by that time. And in fact, when we first arrived in Mayapur, one morning on the balcony after breakfast, Prabhupada was looking out over the fields, and then he turned to me and he said, "Never in my life have I felt as weak as I do now." But then he added, he said, "But still I would like to finish this Bhagavatam." And I had seen evidences of Prabhupada's decrease in general health and fitness. Several times I had to literally pick him up when he collapsed on staircases. So anyway, you know, I was just very concerned. So when this man came, I really didn't want Prabhupada to go. And so I asked him, you know, kind of a little complainingly, I guess, you know, "Srila Prabhupada, why do you have to go?" He said, no, he's asked, "I must go." He said, "It's preaching." So I said, "But Prabhupada, there's so many sannyasis here, they can all do the program." He said, "No, he wants me to go, I must go." So, you know, because I was a bit upset by it, then Prabhupada said, just like, you know, that story in the Krishna book about Pradyumna, he was injured on the battlefield, and so when he was taken, then immediately he went back to fight, even though he was injured. So he said that was his duty. So then I said, "But Srila Prabhupada, it was his charioteer's duty to take him off the battlefield when he was sick." So then Prabhupada said, "Yes, and it was his duty to immediately return and fight." So he defeated me, you know. So that, you know, again, it was his determination, and we did do that program. Prabhupada just simply wanted to encourage the man, and we went and we did that program. And I remember that it was, you know, there was like a pandal, a stage, and there was some really rickety steps, about 4 or 5 steps leading up to the stage. So when Prabhupada approached that to go up, he didn't ask for help or anything, and he immediately, you know, started stepping up one by one. And by that time I was already aware of how weak he was, so I was standing on the step below him. As he went up one step, I went up one step, and I had my hands out like this, just in case anything happened. And Prabhupada was actually pushing himself up the steps with his cane. He had so little strength in his legs, so he put one foot up, and then to get the other one up, he would actually push himself up with his cane. So when he got to the second to top step, he was straining like anything, and then all of a sudden, his strength went, and he just collapsed. But I was right behind him, stood on the lower step, and I just caught him. And I just, you know, had to literally carry him up to the top and put him on the stage. And I put him up there, Prabhupada just, you know, walked over to his seat and sat down like nothing had happened. So, you know, Prabhupada literally sacrificed his life for us. There's no question of it. I saw it. He just wore his body out. If Prabhupada, you know, if there was a cause for Prabhupada's disappearance, you know, like a cause of death, the Kavis are always fond of identifying the cause of death. You could just say that Prabhupada wore his body out in the service of mankind. That was the cause of it.
So we get to see, like, that's a very touching story where, you know, The age was not on his side, his health was not on his side, but he still had that willpower and the determination and the compassion to keep going, because he really cared about each and every soul. And every moment he thought, how could he give Krishna consciousness? He did not think about his body. At every moment he was thinking about the other person. We will conclude with the final video, and this story is in Vrindavan in 1977, very close to when he's leaving his body. And this kind of captures how much pain he was in when he was trying to leave his body. And even at that moment, even amidst that amount of deep pain, his only thought was, what's going to happen to my disciples? So we'll hear from Rajendra Nandana Das.
Am making the point of trying to glorify Srila Prabhupada. No offense on his part. Every move, every thought, every word dictated by the Supreme Lord, and only out of compassion for us was he remaining here in those last months. And sometimes, raised a Christian, they say, oh, they glorify Jesus Christ, he died for our sins. Because my love was really secured for Srila Prabhupada during those last months. I like to think how actually his glories is that he kindly chose to stay with us longer than it was certainly convenient. Maharaj Radhanath Swami was talking about the sacrifices he made. Anybody, it's nice to hear how many devotees, there are a number of devotees who were here in the last days, but anybody who saw or heard Kaviraj, the doctor, saying, simply lying on the bed with no body fat left from not eating, it was like the nerves, it was like being on fire. Just the skin and the nerves rubbing against the bone. Did Srila Prabhupada complain once? No. Did he ask for morphine for the pain? No. He simply wanted to be with his devotees and have us chant Hare Krishna. And I do have to squeeze this in. It was mentioned, but to me it's such an important aspect of Srila Prabhupada's love for us, all of us. He wanted all of us to be here for this passing. He asked that, the instruction was given, we readied canopies on top of the Gurukula building, full ashram there. He wanted all of his disciples to be with him. He loves us so much. He doesn't forget any single service. We've heard the most insignificant things that we've done, devotees shared that they've done for Prabhupada in his Jai. And that is Srila Prabhupada. How can we give up his service? How can we turn away from him or forget him? We owe him everything. Thank you. A couple of brothers, some Brahmins.
So, those are the 5 videos I had. And for sure, like, all of them are very touching videos, very personal videos. So I want to open up the floor now, because, I had requested everyone to be emotionally present during these memories. What were your feelings like looking through the eyes of the Prabhupada disciples? What was your feeling? What was your emotions? So, my hope is at least I'll get a few people to talk about it.
Srila Prabhupada himself, that's what we can say. We could get from the disciples, and the compassion that Prabhupada showed towards other beings, not just his disciples but everyone else around him. That actually was the main binding point, or what, the main point that actually hit the disciples as well. And that's what was evident from the last video itself, like the Swamiji over here mentioned, right? Because since he did not complain about anything, even though he was in so much pain, then how can we, turn our backs on him? So that's what I think we can get from him. One of the things, I would say.
Yeah. And that's why the legacy continues, right? It's 50 years and we still haven't forgotten Prabhupada, because he was such a special personality. Who's next? Mataji's.
Thank you, Chitmitra. Very, very wonderful class. Nice reflection, actually. It's really special to really read, hear, and listen to Prabhupada's compassion. All his qualities, actually. You know, he has so many qualities, but one of the foremost is compassion. What I really was very reflective for me is how Prabhupada's compassion, he supersedes, he oversees everything. Like the case of Crazy Peter, he was just off the street, right? And he looked like a bum. In American language, he was a bum, seriously. And with no background of Sanskrit or Shastra or anything, just the simple English language. And then to come up to the level of Kushakrata Das, in fact, I don't know how many devotees here know, but he was a translator for half of Prabhupada's books. It is mind-blowing. When he left his body, I think in Vrindavan, I believe, or Mayapur, he left his body, I know that, a few years ago. Devotees couldn't stop singing his glories, because they never expected Crazy Peter to become a Shastric scholar from Bengali to English. No Sanskrit, not even educated. He didn't go to college. He was a bum. And how devotees were treating him like an outcast. And Prabhupada oversaw that and really accepted him and he became a translator for many of his books. In fact, if you were to just Google online Kushakrata Das, you'll see all the books that he translated. Amazing. And what made me reflect on that is how we cannot judge the book by its cover. Is even when we have new devotees that come to the temple that may not appear to be quote-unquote our status, we judge the book by its cover. And we've lost a few devotees just by that, because we judge them the book by its cover. We don't be friends with them, we don't talk to them, we don't greet them, we don't say how are you, and then they leave. And we wonder, what happened? We didn't connect. We didn't learn what Prabhupada has taught us, how to connect and be personal. We just see and we just walk by. We don't take the time to spend time and be friends with them, sit down with them during prasadam. We don't do that. We break up in cliques in our own ethnic groups and have our own discussion, but what about making friends? And Prabhupada is teaching us that. There was one class that was given many years ago, I think it was 2000 in Gitanagari, when a new temple was built. And I remember my spiritual master saying, we shouldn't take devotees for granted because we don't know who they are once they get Prabhupada's mercy. And Kushakrata Prabhu was a fine example. Thank you. Beautiful. And I always love Prabhupada memories. We can learn so much from it. Thank you.
Yeah. So the point of showing these videos is not a academic exercise or not a means to provide some information. The purpose of the videos is to bring about transformation, to make a change in the way we see the world, to make a change in the way we treat devotees and also non-devotees, people in our own community, maybe somebody close at home, like our own families, our children, our spouses. Like the purpose of these videos are not to deliver some information, but some true transformation. So what else can we learn from these videos? Like, what are the takeaways? You know, if nobody's speaking, then it's like, yes, Prabhu. Yeah, I can.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Jitmo, thank you very much for taking this class today and sharing the wisdom of all the sannyasis. All 5 videos you shown are from the very learned sannyasis. I personally follow them on YouTube. I watch their programs and videos. So what I learned, few things about this. We have to show empathy towards the human being, be it a different caste, religion, he must be in a different situation. Not only compassion, empathy, you have to have a service attitude towards each other. And that's what, Prabhupada laid by example. And those sannyasis who were the evident of that memory, they were talking very passionately about that compassion shown by the Prabhupada. So I think, we should follow that footsteps and lead by that.
Yeah. I'll add one point here. When Prabhupada was passing away in Vrindavan, 2 big businessmen from South India had come to visit him. And their question was, once you leave the planet, who's going to carry forward your legacy? Because usually for any institution, what happens is there is a successor, right? Like for example, Tata Group. When Ratan Tata will leave, there is going to be a successor or a board of directors, or if some big company, like there's always the successor. And these 2 businessmen are asking, like, who's going to be your successor? And Prabhupada answered that my legacy will be carried by all those who will follow my instructions. So that means, these teachings that the first generation or Prabhupada disciples are giving us, it's kind of upon us to carry forward that legacy as followers of Prabhupada. So those elements of compassion, those elements of empathy, it should reflect off of us, so that when somebody meets a devotee from ISKCON, they know it's like we don't have to say we are from ISKCON. Just by our behavior, they know he's from ISKCON. So that's then who else? Some more thing. Yes, Mataji. Mike.
Yeah, I'll make it short because I know the time factor. I think if we can read those verses, Shikshastakam, especially the first verse, Srinada Pisanichana, there's so much in that, and if we can try to imbibe that mood of being humble and respecting, one Prabhu mentioned humans, but all life. And as Mother Anasuya said, we don't know who anyone is. When someone comes to the temple externally, and not to judge, and not only on the human, in the human form of life, but the animals also. We don't know who they are. Because I've had some experiences with animals that it's taught me a lot of lessons in my journey. So I think that first verse of Shikshastakam, and if we're able to even read all the verses, when I was in Vrindavan in '86, that was one thing that Kirtanananda Maharaj included in the morning program right after the greeting. I think it was after greeting of the deities or after Mangalarti. We read those verses, the Sanskrit and the English, and I think there's a tendency not to study those. I'm including myself, so I think that's important. And your class was very wonderful. I'm sorry I missed part of it.
Oh, no worries.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yeah. Yeah, sometimes when I'm walking across the temple grounds, chanting my rounds, so sometimes I think even these trees are so blessed because they're so close to the temple, they can hear the holy names. So, next life they will be, probably they might even go back home, back to Godhead.
Memories and knowing Prabhupada, reading about Srila Prabhupada, 1 hour is not enough. 2 hours is not enough. Even a day is not enough. That's why if you go on YouTube and you Google Prabhupada memories, there are more than hundreds of every of his disciples. And before he left the planet, I think he had about 10,000 disciples approximately. So there are a lot of memories, and I highly recommend devotees to go online and Google Prabhupada memories, Srila Prabhupada memories, and you'll read the struggles he went through. There was when they celebrate the 50th anniversary of ISKCON, they had a very big ceremony in Harvard University, the well-known Harvard University, because Srila Prabhupada actually went and gave a workshop or class or something at Harvard University when he was on the planet. And so they celebrated Sri Nitya Gaurachandra ki, Jagannath Subhadra ki jai. And 50th anniversary of ISKCON, the professors that were present when Prabhupada was giving the workshop, they were present on the 50th anniversary of ISKCON. Of course, they are all in their 70s. They're all like, emeritus, PhDs, retired. And every one of them is actually, even if you Google online, you'll see that 1 hour's per program. The professors of Harvard University said, in the history of religion, no one has done what Prabhupada has done in 12 years. No one. And these are theologians, religion professors and philosophy professors and so on and so forth. So when we hear this, we should be very humbly proud. Wow, I'm part of this amazing, movement by Prabhupada. Let me read about Prabhupada more. Let me fall in love with him, let me hear about him. And one of Prabhupada's disciples, Mother Jyotirmayi, she's French, in Paris, she said, if we want to know Srila Prabhupada, we have to do two things. We have to read the books he wrote, and then we read about his biography. Then we will know who Srila Prabhupada is. So I highly recommend devotees, if we don't know much about Srila Prabhupada, read Prabhupada Lilamrita and read his books that he has written and play Prabhupada memories, and you get sucked in. You get really sucked in.
Madhuji, I think we can ask the crowd, how many of you have Prabhupada Lilamrita or Prabhupada biography? How many? Raise of hands, show of hands. Okay, so a lot of people don't have. So how many of you would like to buy it today?
Haribol! Srila Prabhupada ki! I love this.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's really powerful. And I can tell you the Prabhupada Lilamrita right now is actually very nice because it's broken into 7 volumes. So it's easy to finish it up, lack of a better word. If you got the copy that I got from 1990, it's 1,000 page, one fat book. And you see it and you feel like you're going to be reading it for the next 5,000 years. So you guys got it easy. Mine is a very fat book. It's even falling apart, actually. It's a very powerful book. And anybody who reads Prabhupada Lilamrita, I can surefire guarantee you, you will never forget him. You want to know more about him, you want to read what he has done, you want to learn what he has taught, you want to hear his instructions, you want to hear his lectures, it just goes on and on and on. There's never end. And of course, we know if Prabhupada didn't come in 1965, none of us will be sitting in this temple room today. None of us. Only by that pure devotee of the Lord, Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Maji, do you have a book distributor? We can take down the names. Prabhuji. Yeah, who wants to? Haribol. So we'll conclude. Okay. Hare Krishna. Jai.
Very specific.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma Sri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma Bandhu Muri Savadana Mati Bandhu Muri Savadana Mati Jahara Prasade Bhai Vibhavato Yajai Krishna Prapti Ho Jaha Hoti Krishna Prapti Ho Jayati Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Koriya Kya Arana koi ho mane asha Tamagati. Vipashade pore sava aja. Vipashade pore sava aja. Chakodan diloje janme janme Prabhu se. Chakodan diloje janme janme Prabhu se. Deve jal hriday prokatito. Deve jal hriday prokatito. Prema bhakti jaha hoite avidya vinasha jate. Prema bhakti jaha hoite avidya vinasha jate. Deve jai jaha racharito. Deve jai jaha racharito. Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Janara Bandi. Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Janara Bandi. Lokana Lokera Jivana. Lokana Lokera Jivana. Abamu Kodoya Deho More Padachaya. Abamu Kodoya Deho More Padachaya. Ye bejas dushti mugana. Ye bejas dushti mugana. Srila Prabhupada Vatija Pavana. Srila Prabhupada Vatija Pavana. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namini. Namaste sunyavadi paschatya dishatarine. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhakta-vrinda. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhakta-vrinda. Jaya Guru Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Louder, louder. Haribo. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jaya Nitai Gora Chandra Nitai Gora Chandra Gorari. Jaya Nitai Gora Chandra Nitai Gora Chandra Gorari. Jaya Jagannath Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Prabhupada 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 Srila Prabhupada. Haribo 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 Nitai Gora Haribo. Nitai Gora Haribo 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 Nitai Gora Haribo. Gora Premanande. Jayam Vishnupad Paramhams Prabhajikacharjika Stotra Satashimadis Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramhams Prabhajikacharjika Astottara Sata Srimad Bangladesh Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavind ki Namacharya Sri Haridas Thakur ki ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Shari Gaur Bhaktavind ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shyam Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki, Vrindavan Dham ki, Mathura Dham ki, Navadvip Dham ki, Mayapur Dham ki, Jagannath Puri Dham ki, Jagannath Swami ki, Ganga Mai ki, Jamuna Mai ki, Tulsi Devi ki, Bhakti Devi ki, Samadvaita Bhaktavinda ki, Nitai Gaura Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the lotus feet of Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga.
Hare Krishna would like to make a humble request, a humble prayer before we start the Nrsimha Arati. We would like to pray and offer this Nrsimha Arati prayers to Nitya Gopal. He had to leave to go to India yesterday afternoon. His mother is admitted in the hospital. She had internal bleeding. So she's going for some treatments. So we're going to pray for her so that the treatment will be successful and she can get well soon. She's not young. She's actually 90 years old. She's lived a very long life, but we know that this can be, treated, but because of the age, it takes a little longer sometimes. So he had to leave within 24 hours. So please, he's in India right now. So let's really pray with our hearts that Lord Nrsimhadev will lay his hand on his mother and heal her. Hare Krishna.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Narasinghavadi Sharanam Papagi Narasinghavadi Sharanam Papagi Avakala Kamala Varinakam Abhuta Singa Dalita Hiranyakasipu Tanu Bringa Ishavadita Narahari Upa Jaya Jagarisha Jaya Jagarisha Jaya Jagarisha Hari Keshavarihita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagarisha Hare Jaya Jagarisha Hare Jaya Jagarisha Hare Jaya Nating Hare, Nating Hare, Nating Hare, Jaya Nating Hare. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Haribo, 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 Nitai Gora Haribo. Nitai Gora Haribo, 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 Nitai Gora Haribo. Singha Bhagavan ki, Prahlad Maharaj ki, Hitai Gura Premanande.
Hare Krishna. We just watched a beautiful lecture of compassion. Let's try it again. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki. Nitai Gaurachandra ki. How many of you were expecting to see sannyasis and proper disciples in the temple room today? In person, let's be honest. Because I know who was. Majority of us were expecting to see 5 bodies sitting in front of us when I sent the message out that we're going to be hearing from highly esteemed and exalted disciples. And when devotees came on time, which is very surprising, some of us, there was gossip going on. Where are the devotees? Where are the sannyasis? Where are the gurus? Mataji put in the WhatsApp group, but I don't see any orange saffron. I tricked you. Do you know why I did that? Shravan knows the answer. If I did not put that, none of you will show up on time. Number one. Number two is we have forgotten to understand that what is in person and what is on picture are the same. Like we have Srila Prabhupada's picture here, it's none different than Prabhupada's murti. It's the same. Like if we have Krishna picture on the wall of our house, it's none different than the murti of the Lord. So that was my strategy of getting all of us to snap out of, ooh, I can take my time, as opposed to, oh, there are some exalted devotees in the temple room, so we got to be on time. And many of us are guilty of that, and I know that. So we have to really get into the consciousness of being on time, not because that we have exalted, esteemed disciples of Srila Prabhupada. That means we are being selective. Prabhupada says when we start being selective in our hearing, we don't grow Krishna consciously. We have to look at it equally and be on time. So that was a strategy that myself and Jit Mitra worked together, and I think we did it. It worked. Srila Prabhupada ki! Those of you who have raised, where's Swana Goranga? Is he in there? Okay, he's there. Okay. So those of you who have raised your hand to want to purchase Prabhupada Lilamrita, at the end of the announcements, before going down, please go towards Swana Goranga. He has 4 books right there. 4 sets of Prabhupada Lilamrita. So you can go to him and he will get it. And if it's not in stock, he will definitely put you on the order and will order it for you. So please see him right after class. Once you go down, we can't catch you. So right after this, please go to him and get your book and put in your order, and we'll get it for you so that you all can really enjoy Srila Prabhupada's Lilamrita and his whole biography. It's really moving, I can promise you that. In addition to that, what I want to ask also is, how many of you have the copy of Sri Guru Vandana prayers at home? The one that we always sing for Guru Puja Arti. Okay. You don't have this. If you don't have it, please come and see me. I'll give you a copy. The reason being is when we read Prabhupada Lilamrita, it's very important that we also sing the Sri Guru Vandana. It goes hand in hand. When we sing this, when we sing for Guru Puja, we are praising the spiritual master, we are praising the founder Acharya, and it has both the Sanskrit is here and the English is here. I highly recommend reading both, not just the Sanskrit, because at least for me, I'm not a Sanskrit scholar, so I don't know Sanskrit. I know the English pretty well. So do sing the Sanskrit, but read the English. It's really important. So if you're going to go up and get a proper Lilamrita, make sure you get a copy of this. If you see one of the young teenagers there, they'll give it to you. We have a big stack on the bookshelf right there. So please definitely pick up the Sri Guru Vandana. It's a very important prayer that we have to sing to the spiritual master every day. A couple of announcements I want to mention to devotees is February 21st, we have a birthday celebration for Nityananda Trayodasi. It's a Wednesday evening program at 6 o'clock. It's the birthday of Lord Nityananda, and we will have Abhishek of the small Gonitai deities. So please do make your time available for Wednesday evening, February 21st. It's an evening program. Because it's a weekday, we have to start on time and end on time. So and the Abhishek will be at 6 p.m. And it's going to be only for 45 minutes. Because we have to wrap up the whole program, that event. So if you come late, you're going to miss out on the Abhishek and we cannot redo it. So please, if you need to take the mercy of the Lord, of Lord Nityananda, who is the original spiritual master, please do be on time for Wednesday, February 21st, the appearance of Lord Nityananda. February 25th, Sunday, is the first year Brahmotsav celebration of Nitai Gaurachandra. They appeared 1 year, exactly 1 year. And this year we're going to have Pushpa Abhishek, and I will tell you why we're having a Pushpa Abhishek. But we have a very nice program that evening, Sunday, February 25th, Nitai Gaurachandra's Pushpa Abhishek Brahmotsav. So please do block your calendars for that evening. It's going to be a very nice program. It's going to be wonderful. And they will be having a new outfit on them that day. And we do have and need help to we need help to fund and expense the whole festival. We need sponsorship for the flower garlands. We need sponsorship for the flowers for Pushpa Abhishek, because we would like to use rose petals. That would be really, really auspicious and beautiful and very high level. We have the birthday cake sponsorship that we're making for Nitai Gaurachandra. We have the new outfit that they're going to be wearing on that day, February 25th. And we also have the feast for Brahmotsav. So we have a lot of sponsorships, and if your heart and your pockets are kind enough to help sponsor any of these festivities, please do come see me after the program. And a few days after that, Thursday, February 29th, is the appearance of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And who is he? He is the spiritual master of Srila Prabhupada. And it was him that told Srila Prabhupada to go to the West. He didn't come on his own accord. He was sent by spiritual master, and he took it to heart. So that is the day, 29th of February, that we really want to thank Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj for sending his disciple to America to give us what we have today. Very, very important. This is the whole parampara system. We will give gratitude for the whole disciplic succession for what we have today. And that's going to be Thursday, February 29th, an evening program. So please do join us for that. And we have Gaur Purnima coming up on March 24th. And that is when the deities will come off and we'll do full Abhishek. The reason we're having Pushpa Abhishek on the 25th of February is because we have to paint them, polish them, and do all that for them to get prepared for Gaur Purnima. So that's why we're having it on the actual day. So please do mark your calendars for that. Today's feast, it's very, very opulent. It's sponsored by Meera and her family back there. It's an answered prayer that they want to give thanks to Nitai Gaurachandra. The family is definitely seeing how powerful these deities are. They're very powerful. They're really powerful. So they answered her prayer, and this is her gratitude to show, and she prepared the feast with the help of Mother Rukmini, who is downstairs, and Mother Sharada. I don't know, I think she's also downstairs. So please, when you go down, please do thank them and thank her and her family for a wonderful, opulent feast. And lastly, we are short of hands for cleaning today. At least 4 helpers. So if any one of you can lend an extra hand to vacuum upstairs, clean downstairs, we are really short of hand. The team is completely not quite present. So if you're able to help a little bit, please, at least extra half an hour, that'll be really, really helpful. I will go to Ashut, if you can do the prasadam prayers for me, please. Next one, next week, Subrat. Don't worry, I saw that smile on your face.
Mahaprasade Govinde Namo Brahmane Vaishnave Svalpa Punyavatam Rajam Vishwasane Vajayate Sharira Vidyajal Jardendri He Tahe Kal Jo Philip Jese Sagare Tara Madhye Juvayati Labharmai Sudarmati Takidata Kathin Samsare Krishna Bada Dayamay Gauri Bare Jiva Jai Swaprasadana Dilo Bhai Say Annamruta Pao Radha Krishna Gurna Gao Premidha Koshi Chaitanitai Jaini Mai Jaini Tai Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Mahaprasadam ki Jai Jai Shri Ram. Jai Jai Shri Ram. Jai Shri Ram. Mahaprasadam ki. Please don't forget to take darshan of the deities. And prasadam is served downstairs.
I was gonna point at you and smile more, but I was like, I hate you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, how are you? Easily, Hare Krishna Mataji. So, we have four right now with us. So, we'll order. Nepali? Okay, let me order. Anyways, I'll go to order, right? This one is 70 as a donation. And there's a point which you want to give it. It's up to you. Right now, you can pay it right now. I will order Nepali for you. And then what we usually do for Srimad Bhagavatam, because Bhagavatam is Krishna himself. So Lila Prabhupada is there. So Bhagavatam, what we do is, we come to the installation. Basically open our books, there, and then we do the globalization of the shop. So we are thinking the same thing, we should do it for Prabhupada, because then once we hear about with the respect we read more often, with the respect we read. Because these books are like eternal books, right? So it's not just the hard copy. So we will take it to the but then we'll come sometime home, like we will decide once the Satguru is here.
Krishna, Krishna.
Maybe we have seen so here is we have so 7 volumes. Very wonderful. I got the gift actually. Yes, sure. They can give it to me if it's cash or check. With the card or something. Let me check. Hey, Surat Prabhuji. So, Hare Krishna. Hi, Salman. Majama? Betul. Payment. Card. You know how to get it? Can we do it? Please. I do it on my phone. No, I can't. So, the recommended donation is 71 per person. Because from DVD we get it, then shipping is plus donation.
Hare Krishna.
Most of the books usually get sponsored. Like whoever's already have it.
Krishna, Krishna. Hare Ram.
Let's do this. We get ready.
You mean like set one up or like to use the one that's existing?
No, how much you want to pay right now? But I'm not.
Please. Is that like
No, that will work probably.
Hare Krishna.
Or I will get the credentials for that. Because what happens is they have a separate account.
Krishna Krishna.
Because usually what happens once
Hare Ram.
you have to report back to the they get the count. Plus we have to carry that to the product. That's why. But that's not. Perfect. Dhanyavad. So I did not get your name. Let me write it down. Small hearted, na? Yeah, actually, I just
Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram. Hare Ram. Ram Hare.
I told you. No, usually even we cannot use it. Then again, for Italian or
Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare.
kind of Hare Krishna Mother.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare.
Hare Krishna Guruji. First of all, Guruji, Hare Krishna. How are you? Box.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare.
That's recommended. You can give anything. Yeah, we'll say yes for million also.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
He is like, I don't know, let go this Prabhupada brother. So dear to heart.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare